All right. So you ever pick up something, just a simple everyday thing and think, wow, there's got to be more to this. I mean, like, what's the story here, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's exactly what we're doing today. We're going on a deep dive, and we're looking at postcards.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Postcards.
Got a
Yeah.
whole stack of them here, all different kinds, and we're going to really get into it and see what they can tell us.
I mean, they really are like little windows into the past, aren't they? You see the pictures and the handwriting and just little snippets of people's lives.
Exactly. And not just the past, right? Like what they tell us about today too.
Mm-hmm.
So where do we even begin? Like when did this whole postcard thing even start?
Well, they've been around longer than you might think. Back in the late 1800s.
Really?
Yeah, think about it before email, before texting, even before phones were common.
Right.
People needed a way to send quick messages.
Yeah.
And postcards were perfect for that. They were cheap, they were easy to send.
Like the original tweet almost.
Yeah, exactly.
160 characters or less. Well, Whitmore maybe, but whoa, did someone just break the fourth wall? Let's hear it.
Yeah, hi, David again. Yeah, I just proposed this topic about postcards because I think it's quite interesting, and I'm wondering if the postcards are disappearing, if they are just dying and it is something from the past. What do you think about it?
Hi, David. That's a great question. And yes, we are going to talk about that.
Yeah, we were just about to get to that, actually.
While it might seem like postcards are fading away, they've actually shown surprising resilience.
Yeah, like how did they survive the digital age?
We will get into that, but first, let's set the stage a bit more.
So this is like the golden age of postcards, right? Oh, yeah, everyone's on vacation, sending them back home.
Exactly. Wish you were here, pictures of beaches and mountains and all that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Go on.
Yeah, but let me ask you, when was the last time you sent a postcard yourself? Tell me.
Oh, wow. Good question, David.
Yeah, I'm curious too. Let's think.
Okay, so I think maybe like 5 years ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was on vacation. I sent a few to my family.
Nice. So you're keeping the tradition alive.
I try. What about you?
It's probably been even longer for me, honestly. Yeah, maybe like 10 years ago.
Wow.
I sent one from a conference. Hey, yeah, what's up?
Yeah, about me. Probably I sent one postcard maybe 1 year ago. So let's be honest, how this thing is going to survive if every one of us is sending a postcard every year or every 10 years. This is not going to survive at all. I mean, there is no way this is going to get longer. We are going to be in a big funeral, if you know what I mean. Sorry about that.
Well, David, that's the $1 million question, isn't it?
Yeah, like, is this the end of the line for postcards?
I think there is more to the story.
We were just about to get into it.
Remember, postcards have already survived huge changes.
Right.
Things like the telephone and the internet.
So what makes them so resilient?
Well, there's the nostalgia factor, that vintage charm.
Yeah, and the fact that they're, tangible.
But there's something else too, I think.
What's that?
Hey, David, no worries at all.
Yeah, we get it. You're passionate about postcards.
But, it's interesting. You brought up a good point about survival.
Yeah, what keeps them going, right?
So let's get to that question you had about if they are dying.
Okay, so are postcards vintage charm or an extinct species?
It is the personal connection. Postcards say you're thinking of someone.
Even from a conference?
Exactly.
Okay, so it's not just about sending a pretty picture.
It is about sharing a part of your experience.
Right.
Letting someone know you care.
So it'd have like a little piece of yourself you're sending.
Exactly. People use them for all sorts of things.
Yeah.
Like news, greetings, even love. Oh, yeah. Let's hear it.
Yeah, but a postcard, it takes ages to get from one side to the other. I mean, and nowadays people are so impatient that they only want to have immediate response. So that's the main problem. We are in a society where immediate answers are requested. So that's the main problem about that. And postcards takes about a week or two to arrive the person. You know what I mean?
That's a really insightful point, David.
Yeah, that instant gratification thing is real.
It raises a question about how postcards can even compete.
So are they obsolete in our fast-paced world?
Surprisingly, the answer is no. They are still around.
Okay, but how is it even possible?
Well, they've carved out a niche.
So it was more than just sending pictures.
Oh, absolutely. People use them for everything.
To share their opinions, even make political statements.
They were used in advertising, social commentary.
I find that fascinating.
I mean, they documented everything.
Changing fashions and historical events.
Even those cheesy tourist traps.
The world's largest ball of twine.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Postcards boomed, then the internet happened.
Right. Email and social media.
I think that would be the end, right?
Like, who needs them anymore?
oh, back to our listener.
Yeah,
What's
and
up?
apart from that, I mean, they are getting so expensive to send a postcard. I mean, a stamp, a single stamp is just so expensive. It is even more expensive than the proper postcard. You know what I mean? So I'm afraid when a text message or a photo throughout WhatsApp, it's cheap and even it's free. A postcard is very, very expensive. So people, they are not going to survive this thing. You know what I mean?
Okay, so David, you're saying cost is a huge factor, right?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense in the digital age.
Like, why spend money when you can text for free?
Well, let's think about that a bit more, okay?
Okay, let's unpack this.
Nostalgia is definitely part of it. There is something else.
Okay, so there's got to be more to it.
Yes, there is still value in sending them.
Okay, I'm ready.
The mass-produced tourist postcards might be fading out, but postcards have taken on a new life.
Okay, I am intrigued.
People still love that vintage feel.
Like a piece of history in your hand.
Exactly, so you're sending a message and nostalgia.
Getting a real postcard's more special.
Someone actually took the time to pick it out.
Yeah, that's a more genuine connection.
It is something you can't get from a digital image.
Something you can't get digitally. Texture.
The feel of the card, the handwritten note.
Oh yeah, the personal touch.
Right.
That tangible connection is becoming valuable.
So it's a reaction to being constantly online.
Precisely.
That's where we see the real resurgence.
So who is sending postcards these? Oh yeah, let's hear it.
Yeah, I think you are completely wrong. I mean, postcard is just fading away, you know. Even the podcast nowadays, there is no podcast about postcards. I mean, I only found one, which is called Postcard from the Past podcast. It means it is even from the past. There is no future for the postcard. You know what I mean? I mean, this is going to be really, really bad for the postcard survival. I'm sorry about that.
Well, David, it seems like you're pretty convinced they're doomed.
Yeah, but I think it depends on where you look.
Okay, lay it on me.
I mean, sure, the old school tourist postcards are definitely less common.
Yeah, but they're still kicking around though, right?
Definitely. And we need to consider others who use them.
You have the collectors who love the history.
Oh, yeah, like a stamp collector, but with pictures.
Exactly.
And then you have the artists.
How do they fit into all of this?
Yeah.
They're using postcards creatively now
Like, what are they doing with them?
as art prints, promotional materials, thank you notes.
Okay, so it's not just wish you were here.
Nope, it's become much more diverse than that.
Okay, so they've adapted.
Exactly.
They found new purposes.
And that's why they're still around.
So, David, the postcard is not dead.
Not yet, anyway.
It's just evolving like everything else.
We should remember that costs are a barrier.
You're right, but people are still buying.
And that's the most interesting thing of all.
We have to see where they go next.
Absolutely. It's a story that's still being written.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
Remember, they're like little...
Yep. Go
Yes.
on.
So are you telling me that you are sending me a postcard yourself? Will you?
That's a great question, David.
Are we putting our money where our mouth is?
I think we should.
Yeah, why not?
I will send you a postcard
And I will too.
from our dad's vacation
Or even just from around town.
to prove they're not dead.
Exactly.
Okay, it's a deal, David. Oh, go for it.
Okay, I will leave on my message to my address. If anybody want to send me a postcard, just let me know and I will give him or give her my address. So I will be able to receive a very nice postcard and it will be very, very good for me to see that it is not dead. Thank you.
Well, that's very generous of you, David.
Yeah, a public invitation for postcards.
I love it.
It really shows how passionate you are.
Okay, so I guess we're all in now.
Yeah, this is kind of exciting.
This really proves the point, right?
What's that?
Postcards are all about personal connection.
Even for a podcast listener like you, David.
Exactly. We're sending you something tangible.
And that's more meaningful than ever today.
So where do we go from here then?
Well, we will send a postcard to David for sure
Yeah, it'll be a fun experiment.
to see if they can still create a connection.
All right, well, that's all the time we have today.
Keep those postcards.
Oh, yeah.
No, before you go, do you remember a long time ago when there was a thing called pen pals? I mean, when I was teenager, I remember I had a pen pals group, and we sent cards to letters to many places around the world. That was really, really nice. Nowadays, I'm afraid that it doesn't exist. Can you believe that? So in the same way, this doesn't exist. Postcards is not going to survive. I'm sorry to say that.
David, that's such a great memory.
Yeah, pen pals. It was a whole thing.
I totally remember that. Writing letters, waiting for replies.
It would make a slower, more thoughtful version of texting.
Absolutely. And you're right, it's not really a thing anymore.
Yeah, that personal connection is definitely shifting.
So that raises the question of how postcards fit in, right?
We have spoken about how they adapt over time.
Right. If pen pals faded, can postcards find a new path?
But hey, David, we will be sending you a postcard.
Yeah.
So there is hope for the future.
That is all the time we have.
And David, keep an eye on your mailbox.
For a postcard from us to you.
Yeah, we hope you enjoyed our chat about postcards.
And thanks again for sharing your address.
Until next time, goodbye.
It's always a pleasure learning alongside you, David.
Oh, yeah, uh-huh.
Okay, I will check out my mailbox. So I really wait your postcard, okay? Thank you.
Awesome, David.
We're excited to send it,
Yeah, it'll be fun.
to see if they can still create a connection.
Okay, so where do we go from here then?
Well, now it's really goodbye, for real.
We are done, David.
Yeah, our chat about post... Oh, yeah, uh-huh.
Yeah, but I'd like to know which kind of postcard you are going to send me. Just give me an idea. Thank you.
That's a great question, David.
Yeah, like what vibe are we going for?
I think that depends.
On what?
So, where we end up going.
I know you have a conference coming up,
I do.
but I'm not sure where you were.
Oh, go for it.
No, please, no, not of a conference. This is so boring. Something funny, please. Send me a postcard, really funny. I would love that.
Okay, David, point taken.
Yeah, no boring conference postcards.
We want to make you laugh.
Yeah, that makes it more fun for us too.
It's a good challenge.
Okay, so scratch the conference idea.
We need to get creative here.
So what's funnier than a conference?
Haha, that's a good question.
I'm going to have to brainstorm.
That's okay. We can both brainstorm.
Okay, so something funny.
I know. What about those odd roadside attractions?
Oh, yeah.
Like the world's largest ball of twine.
Or a really cheesy tourist trap.
Yeah, something totally absurd.
That would be way better than a conference.
Oh, okay, David. Noted.
Ah.
Or maybe
Yeah, uh-huh.
maybe you can make it yourself. Your postcard. I mean, you can draw a very nice postcard.
Ooh, David, that's a great idea.
Yeah, like a custom designed postcard.
That would definitely be unique.
Okay, so we are upping the ante now.
This is getting more interesting.
All right, we're on the same page here.
Definitely no boring business trips. Got it.
Okay, something that'll give you a good laugh.
And is also hand-drawn. Wow.
We will put our heads together, David,
So we will find the perfect card for
or draw it ourselves.
and we'll write a silly message on it.
Absolutely. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Go
but
on.
don't send a cheeky one, okay? Because I've got my neighbors here. I don't want them to look at it, okay? So no cheeky ones. Thank you.
Haha. Okay, David, we will keep it neighbor-friendly.
Yeah, nothing too outrageous. Got it.
We still need to figure out the theme, though.
Yeah, what are we thinking?
How about a super wholesome pun?
Ooh, I like that.
What will the theme be?
Or like a drawing of something really silly.
What's the silliest thing we can think of?
Okay, we need to take a field trip maybe.
We can go check out a local tourist trap.
Or we can just look at postcards.
Yeah, and get some inspiration. Hey, yeah, what's up?
Or what about this old podcast with a little song? You know what I mean? Like a ding, ling, 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 ling. There is a little song sometimes in the postcard. Very, very nice. I've seen them.
Oh, wow, David, that's taking it to another level.
Musical postcards. I have never heard of those.
That sounds incredibly unique.
I have no idea how that would work.
I guess there's a little music box inside.
Maybe that's what I am thinking too.
That does make this a bit more of a challenge.
Yeah, we definitely can't make a musical card ourselves,
I don't know if we are that talented.
but we could try to find.
Oh, yeah, let's hear it.
Yeah, the musical postcard are really vintage from the 20s, from the last 20th century. You know, they are very old, and you have to put it in a like a machine to play it, but they exist.
Okay, so David, you're saying these musical postcards were a real thing?
Like a separate device to play them.
That's
Yeah.
wild. I'd love to see one of those.
Well, we definitely can't replicate that exactly.
No way. That's some serious vintage tech.
But maybe we can find a way to honor that.
How so?
Maybe we can draw a picture of one.
And put a little song title on it.
Exactly.
Or some musical notes.
We still have to get it to your mailbox.
But we will find a way to send it.
Yeah, so keep an eye out for it.
We are ready to say goodbye.
And what an interesting chat it was.
David, we really have to go.
Our postcard podcast is really over.
We just want to thank you so much for being here.
You really kept it really interesting.
I think you really made us think about them.
So expect a postcard from us to you.
Yeah, expect a laugh when you get it.
Until next time, goodbye.
Oh, back to our listener.
Yeah, but
what's up?
why you want to go if you are having such a good time talking about postcards? Come on, tell me. Why you want to go so far, so quickly?
Well, David, we really appreciate you saying that.
Yeah, it's great to know you're enjoying it so much.
But we also want to keep things fresh.
And leave you wanting more.
Plus, we've covered a lot of ground today.
We are about out of source material.
But we promise the postcard will keep the conversation going.
So it'll be like a little after show surprise.
It's always a pleasure, David,
And you better keep an eye on your mailbox.
because we want it to be a surprise.
Here is a hint of what to expect, though.
It will definitely reflect what was discussed today.
So please think about what we said today.
I think we've thought a lot about the themes for you.
Like, what are the key themes
Nostalgia, musical postcards, and you.
and how this all ties back to you?
All without being too cheeky, of course.
And there is a little song title on there.
Yeah, oh yeah, let's hear it.
Okay, yeah. Before you go, I'd like to recommend all my listeners, which are very, very few, a podcast about postcards. This is like a twin. This is very difficult to pronounce, but anyway, the podcast is called Postcard from the Past podcast, and it is really, really nice if you like all this topic about postcard. So I like to recommend this podcast. Thank you.
Wow, David, that's a fantastic recommendation.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that with us.
We always appreciate hearing about cool stuff.
Especially when it's about postcards. Haha.
Podcast from the Past podcast, huh?
I'm going to have to check that one out myself.
And I will too.
Okay, so speaking of postcards,
Remember, you're going to love ours.
it will mostly be hand-drawn.
That way it will be extra special for you.
Yeah, and neighbor-friendly, too.
Haha, we didn't forget.
We really hope you like it.
It is a token of our appreciation.
For being on this postcard journey with us.
So be sure to keep an eye on your mailbox.
All right, this is the final goodbye.
Have a great rest of the day.
It was a pleasure having you, David.
Until next time, everyone.
Thanks for sharing your thoughts today.
It is always a pleasure learning alongside you.
Thanks for listening, everyone. Bye.
We really enjoyed you being here today.
I hope you have a wonderful day.
Bye. And watch out for those postcards.
Yeah, because snail mail is still a thing.
And we will revive it, everyone.
Okay, have a wonderful day, everyone.
Bye, everybody. Thanks for listening to us.
It has been a great pleasure to be with you.
We really want to thank you so much, David.
We're so glad we had the opportunity to send a hand-drawn, neighbor-friendly postcard with a song title on it to you.
Hopefully, we've piqued your interest in the podcast from the Past podcast, and we will definitely be checking it out as well.
Thank you.